Well, with the war over in Europe and the Nazis defeated, there were celebrations all around the world, especially in the occupied countries which were now free, such as France and Czechoslovakia and other countries, and also in the United States and England and all over the world. A shot here of Paris and the celebrations that the war ends. They had already had a huge celebration when the United States liberated Paris, uh, but now there was another celebration when the war ended. There were all kinds of scenes of small scenes of people shaking hands and celebrating, as well as massive crowd celebrations. You see nuns waving as a time of the darkest, one of the darkest eras of occupation from the Nazis was coming to an end. Troops that were liberating these areas were greeted with flowers, and because now they knew it was going to be freedom and not occupation by the Nazis. A tremendous amount of goodwill towards the United States throughout Europe, as the United States was a major liberating country. Soldiers met with greetings. There's a truck with liberation written on the side. This is a Canadian trooper at a victory celebration and a freedom celebration. A worn out soldier here talking to some kids. The American Red Cross, which played a great role in helping missing persons um, find each other. They kept all kinds of records, trying to link up missing persons with families, not just in helping with health and food supplies, but also a huge effort for missing people. The American Red Cross truck there. Um, Soldiers, the kids were happy. The time of hiding had come to an end. Older woman celebrating. More we have happy pilots here. A lot of scenes of kids. Some of these pictures were put into magazines later, and journalists recorded some of these pictures. And journalists had been, through a lot in World War II, in war zones from many countries. Oh, there's a little girl giving flowers to a U.S. soldier. There was great goodwill because people very much knew the difference between Nazi occupation and now freedom as a result of the victory in World War II. There's soldiers, American soldiers helping a uh, German civilian here. Celebrations in London were huge too because England had been through the Battle of Britain and bombing, and even the V2 rocket bombs that were sent in late '44 to destroy more of London. So there was great celebrations in London because they were directly civilians were directly affected. Celebrations in the United States, I think this is New York. There were large celebrations across the United States also, and then more epic celebrations. Americans after the war were very positive. They knew this was not a war that was a gray war like most wars are. This was a war of self-defense and also of support for democracy and freedom and a war against tyranny, the worst tyranny imaginable. So this was one of the few wars in which people felt no regrets, and so World War II in Europe had come to an end.